Hey everyone, so this is my review of the pilot episode for Emergence, and basically what this series is about is that police officer Joe discovers a mysterious girl as the only sort of unknown around this very mysterious crash that they originally believed was like a small engine plane crash. And she decides to take in this girl when it's discovered that this girl has no memory of the crash or who she is. And upon doing so, Officer Joe discovers that she has then become a part of a much bigger conspiracy going on, and she has to figure out how to navigate it and survive as well as keep her family alive too. And this was a very interesting first episode that, again, like with many new series, the trailer sort of gives away the whole plot of the first episode, but it did it in a very interesting way, in my opinion, where in the trailer it took certain chunks and made it seem like they were all part of one bigger scene when it turns out that it was multiple different scenes. And just how that editing played out and stuff was really well done, in my opinion, to make the whole episode also seem more thrilling, where it's okay, this part that happened in the trailer was in a completely different scene than this part, and then they added to be two completely different like action scenes and chase scenes and stuff that were very interesting to see how they played out. And then everything with the mysterious girl that they decided to name Piper was very interesting, with her not really realizing at first that all these strange circumstances going on around her were because of her. But then by the end of this episode, she sort of comes around to figuring that out. And that whole ending scene of her taking out like this microchip or whatever that was inside her head, I'm very curious to know more about that in the future and how that plays into her and her abilities and stuff. And just discovering more about who she is and what's going on around her, I can't wait to see. Then I just really enjoyed seeing like that whole family dynamic between Joe and the rest of her family when Piper comes into the mix, where Joe was recently divorced to her husband, and so they're still navigating how to share their custody of their daughter Bree. And then when all this craziness starts happening in her life, Joe sort of has to call in her ex-husband Alex to sort of help out and help take care of the kids and stuff. And I'm very interested to see how that all plays out, even though I kind of hope and wish that Joe and Alex don't eventually get back together, because that seems like such a weird ploy to have them set up as these characters who realize they don't work together and that they decide to go through all this divorce and stuff just to eventually have them get back together. I don't really like. But having Alex around to sort of help and navigate and take care of the kids, that sounds like a very good sort of part for him. Then the mysterious man that was brought up in a small part in the middle of this episode, then again at the end of this episode, who somehow knows about like everything that's truly going on, and I think his name was Benny, and how he sort of knew that there was more to this than just some mysterious small airplane crash, and how eventually he convinced Joe to come and like take his guidance and stuff. It's very interesting, and I'm very curious to see where that's going to play on the future, and if he truly is a good guy or if he's sort of messing with them and eventually will be a bad guy. And I'm just very interested to see what will happen there. And then just overall, this was a really fun and entertaining first episode, and I'm so excited to see where they're going to take this storyline with all these mysteries and getting to know the characters more and all this different stuff. I'm very interested to see how all that's going to play out going forward. So yeah, that's my review of the pilot episode of Emergence. So yeah, bye!